Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our team Zoom tonight. We are so honored and so excited to be here sharing with you. We have got such a lineup for you tonight. You are going to be so blessed. We are going to get started right now by introducing ourselves. We are Jens and Cindy Brynteson. We are Senior Presidential Directors, and we are coming to you from
St. Augustine, Florida.
St. Augustine, where everybody wants to move, we think. But you might be hearing about this little patch, this little opportunity, this little technology for the very first time tonight. And we are so honored to be the ones that are going to explain it and share it with you. We were started wearing this little patch 34 months ago, and we were introduced to it by my sister and her husband, Gina and Steve Merritt. So we did not realize how incredible this was going to be when we were first introduced to it. Every single day, we are learning more about the incredibleness because there are testimonies after testimonies after testimonies. And it has been absolutely the hugest blessing we have ever had our hands on. We are excited because I've been a healthcare professional for 50 years. My heart is to help people, to bless them with how to take care of their bodies. We take this little patch, we peel it, and we place it anywhere on our body. You can see I've got mine on my arm right here. And as we place this patch on our bodies, it goes to work, stimulating our bodies to repair themselves, to heal themselves, and age reversal. It doesn't get any better than that. I go play pickleball. I go do what I need to do today. And this little patch is doing the work for me. And that is something out of 50 years of being a healthcare professional, doing open heart surgery and cardiac rehab and running the intensive care units, I've never seen these types of testimonies, and I've never seen natural healing go to this degree. Now, Jens has been a business owner. We've been partners for over 52 years in business, and he's going to share with you in a little while what he sees and what is so powerful about what we have our hands on today. But we're going to start off this evening with there's just so many amazing things that we want to share with you. And we are going to use some slides to help you understand what you have your hands on, the opportunity that you have in front of you.
Why would you want to use the X39 stem cell activation patch? Well, as you get older, you get fewer stem cells. And, at the age of 30, only half of them are active. And at 60, it's almost all over with.
We passed 60 a long time ago.
Yeah, about 10 to, yeah. Anyway,
Oh, wow.
never mind on that.
Yes.
But anyway, what I was going to say is, that's why after 30, you start feeling some aches and pains. And a lot of people, I mean, you may or may not know that a stem cell can become any cell that your body needs.
That's right.
So that's why when you start hearing some of the testimonies, they're all over the place for that reason. Because if you need something in your brain, your liver, your kidney, your heart, your skin, your liver, whatever it is, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
These things are going to go to work and repair. So,
and let me add this. There are no stem cells in this
Yeah.
patch. I'm getting ready to tell you what's in this patch, but there are no stem cells. It is reactivating your very own stem cells. And your brain tells them where to go. And they go to work where they're needed.
I was going to say too, so as you're getting older, almost all your issues are related to the stem cells not keeping up the repair of your body. So just imagine that you can stimulate these again, and what they can do for your health is
naturally
truly amazing.
Naturally. And how does this patch work? Well, it is a proprietary form of phototherapy, and it's a patented nanocrystal technology. Now, the key word there was patented. Inside this little patch are organic ground up salt, sugar, and plant particles. This patch is non-transdermal. I'd never seen a patch that was non-transdermal before because it's also patented. That means that it's non-invasive. Nothing from this patch goes into your body. There are no drugs, no chemicals, and no stimulants in this patch. So as we peel this patch, and as we showed you, we place it anywhere on our body, what happens is this patch is activated by the heat of our body. What happens next is that it acts like a mirror. It is reflecting your own infrared light that we all emit. We emit that infrared light, and this patch is now acting like a mirror, reflecting that light back into our tissues. That is called phototherapy, and that is a proprietary form. So that is a lot to get excited about, but there's more. The next thing is a patent, US governmental patent that says, as a result, okay, when the light goes back into your tissue, as a result of that, you're elevating copper peptides once again. So your peptides, your stem cells, your collagen, they all became dormant at 60, or will be if you're not 60 yet. But at 30, they were at half capacity, as Jen said. So once that copper peptide is re-elevated naturally from your own light going back into the tissue, what happens next is all science. The peptide goes up and it naturally reactivates your own stem cells, improvement of energy, reactivating your collagen. And this patent also includes that it includes age reversal. So when I see someone out on the street, I am saying, oh my gosh, have you seen this little patch? And I'll hold up my wrist and they'll say, no, what is that? And I'll say one of two things. That's my stem cell reactivation patch, or that's my age reversal patch. Immediately they want to know, how can they get that patch? If I say age reversal and it's a woman, she wants to know, how can she get a case of those patches? And I'm like, you only need one a day. So it's super exciting that we have something on our hands like this to make that kind of a difference in our bodies.
So how do you wear the X39? Well, you wear it 12 hours, take it off, throw it away, and the next day put another one on. They show the points they show there is where the studies are done. Those are acupuncture points. But I always say just put the patch anywhere, especially if you got something that hurts, put it there, and drink plenty of water because you need to be hydrated for the patches to work
To
the
work
best.
at their optimum,
Yep.
yes. And you know what? The more hydrated we are, the healthier our bodies are going to function
Yep.
too.
Yep. Anyway, so X39 it's really sophisticated technology, yet it's simple to explain. And the best thing about this patch is it absolutely works. Okay, hang on here, technology catching up.
We're going to reshare our screen. You know, every now and then something just wants to pop up and happen.
All right. It's my pleasure to introduce Joe Herr. He's the director from Bradenton, Florida. He's a father of three. He's a IFBB professional. Again, he's an investor, a business owner, a personal trainer, and we got to spend time with Joe and his wife here about a month ago in Punamita, and that was really a great time.
Something's going
All
on with
right.
our slides. They took off. Okay, yep, I believe Joe is on. We're so excited as he's going to share a little bit about his health testimony. Take it away, Joe.
Good. Thank you, Cindy and Jens. I appreciate it. Yeah, so my testimony is I was introduced to this by Lila in October, and I wanted to support her. I felt like it was something that could work, but I wasn't really interested at the time, but I was interested in supporting her, which is very important. And so I put it on, and I was traveling to Vegas at that time. And about 4 to 5 weeks in, I noticed like I was much leaner than I had normally was. And just to give you a background on that, I'm very disciplined with my eating, my training. Everything is very, very structured. So when I noticed from this patch that I was getting leaner, doing nothing different, that definitely surprised me. And so I naturally, as a good husband would do, I sent a picture to Lila with my shirt off to show her how lean I had gotten. And then she posted it on Facebook, I believe, which I didn't tell her to do that, but I allowed her to. anyways,
Ask permission.
she asked permission, which was nice. And so anyways, for me, that was really exciting because the fact that I didn't have to do anything else that I'd already been doing and then I was leaner was great. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'll just keep wearing it. And then I noticed my recovery was a lot better from the gym. I felt like I could go back, like I'd work out in the morning and I could go back in the afternoon. I didn't want a day off, like ever. And I know it's important to have a day off, but with the patch, I noticed that I just always was wanting to get back in. And I think that that came back to the recovery. It was giving me just this amazing amount of recovery. My muscles weren't sore. And I also noticed I was a lot stronger in the gym. So those were cool things for me. You know, not everyone cares as much about that stuff, but I knew something was happening, right? I knew something was happening in my body, and I was going to take full advantage of it just because I love, I love that feeling. Um, and so I kept wearing the patch, and I noticed the other thing that I noticed was that my memory seemed to be like sharper. I was starting to remember things that I had almost forgotten, as it was really weird and it's hard to explain, but I feel like my mental clarity is, I'm a lot sharper with certain things. Now, Lila will probably not tell you not everything, but I'm definitely sharper than I was. No, so those were the big things for me that has allowed me to continue to wear it. But what I do is I listen to all these other testimonies and I realize that there's other stuff happening underneath the surface that I may not even be aware of. And so it's exciting to know that I just put the patch on every day, and something probably will happen that didn't expect. And I haven't lost all my stem cells yet. They're not all dormant, but they're getting there. So this is kind of exciting that, I'm able to stop that process and allow them to become alive again. So I'm very grateful that Lila, introduced me to this patch, and I'm grateful for Cindy and Jens. I got to meet them and it was awesome.
Can I add a little bit to your testimony?
She's going to add something, I guess.
Well,
Yes.
I have
A
actually
question.
heard him. Sorry.
I want to know how old Joe is.
How old is Joe? 45.
All right. All right. Go ahead, Lila. Thank you.
Yeah, there's two things that I've noticed. So first of all, he doesn't complain about certain aches and pains that he was getting kind of intermittently, especially under his shoulder blade and down his back. I think he did have something recently, but it was much milder and went away a lot quicker than it did in the past. But the other thing about Vegas, so he went hiking 2 times or 3 times, but the first time he went, Vegas hiking is not just like walking up paths. It is climbing boulders, huge rocks, and it destroyed him the first time he did it.
That's right.
He barely made it back down, and when he got home, he just passed out for hours. And then after like 4 or 6 weeks on the patch, he did it again. And he had no problems and went back, ate something, and then went to the gym. So
Wow.
that was a lot more stamina and energy.
Wow.
Yeah. And I guess there was one more thing that, like, for example, right now it's 7:14. So I get up very early, and normally around 7:14, I'm done. Like I'm waiting to get to bed around 8:30. And since I've been wearing the patch, I can push through. I still try to get to bed at a good time, but I have
You're functional.
I'm pretty functional, right? I can still, anyway, so that's
huge. That's huge. That's amazing. And I have a feeling everybody that's on here right now are going to see the recordings going, bodybuilder. Oh my gosh, I'm just trying to lift weights a couple of times a week. Like that's very impressive because your testimony is extremely powerful for all of us. And the other thing is that this patch doesn't heal, treat, or cure any of us. It's simply stimulating your body. And if you're 45 and you are very, very attentive to your body and what you do and working out because you've been in competition, I mean, you have to be attentive. And it's giving you this, that's like massive for the rest of us. I mean, because you're the one that's very sensitive to whatever's going on in your body. So if some of us are saying, I don't know that I'm feeling anything yet, it's okay because everybody gets their own feel at a different time, but the patch is doing something. Like you were saying, all of a sudden, it was like you went back and you hiked that mountain and now you've got more endurance and recovery. So that's so cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
we did, like when we were in Punamita, oh my gosh, we had the best time. And we're excited too because the next couple that are going to be with us this evening, they also were in Punamita with us. And we are going to bring up, let me share the slide again. There we go.
All right. Paul Summersaw, he's from Lakeland, Florida. He's a retired U.S. Army colonel, currently national security professional. He's a presidential director. Let me say this too. About 30 months ago, we didn't know Paul or Linda, and we're really getting some amazing friends that are coming from this business,
Like family.
and that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, becoming like family. I mean, there's so many on the Zoom that have already become like family, but we've known Paul and Linda the longest out of our new teamwork. So yeah. So let's see, Paul, let's see if you are able to jump on. I have made you co-host.
Okay.
Be able, there you are.
There we
Your
go.
video's not up yet.
There we
There
go.
you are, those beautiful faces. Mwah.
Good to see you all. Well, it's a pleasure and an honor to be here with you, Cindy and Jen. You guys, as you mentioned, have been great friends. We didn't know each other before, but over the last 2.5 years, we've become like family. And for me, for those of you that don't know, I spent 30 plus years in the U.S. Army as a combat infantryman, as an airborne ranger. Prior to that, in high school, I did the things many guys do: played football, wrestled, ran track, and did some other things. And you beat up your body. And I was 50 when I was in Afghanistan, and I felt great. I was in great shape. But somehow, when I turned 60, things started slowing down. Those dormant stem cells just all seemed like they went to sleep at the same time. So I had a terrible, terrible discomfort in my neck, my lower back. I couldn't sleep at night. I had to take Tylenol to be able to get through the night. But I would not show anybody that I was under this discomfort. And then at the age of 63, Linda received a phone call. Thank God that she did, because I was living in quiet desperation. And so we got this little patch, we put it on, and within a very, very, very short period of time, I could feel my body getting energized to the point that within a few weeks, I'm back running with my grandkids. The other thing that helped, besides the better sleep, besides the discomfort leaving, is I had some stomach issues. I also had I had terrible allergies, and those symptoms over time, and it took time. And those of you that are joining us for the first time, you plan for 1 month for every decade you are old. So I'm 66 years old, soon to be 67 in a few months. So I waited 6 months before I looked for something to happen, but it happened soon. So sometimes the body reacts quickly and you feel it. Sometimes you don't feel anything. But I'm so blessed that Linda picked up the phone and we were able to put these patches on her body, and her life has totally been changed. So we're so blessed. And thank you, Cindy, for saying yes, finally, to the X39. And we love your story, and we love the fact that you all we've been locked arms on a number of trips and been able to share this with so many folks. Thank you.
We have had the time of our lives, have we not?
Yep.
We have. And it's just beginning.
And it's just the beginning. We're just getting started. Thank you all so much. We really, really appreciate you being on with us tonight, because these two, they run their own team. And as presidential directors, headed to senior presidential directors, they stay quite busy. So we're real honored to have you both on tonight. And we are going to share with everyone who's on tonight. And as Paul said, you might be listening for the first time tonight and you're like, how do we get these patches? Just tell us how. So we are so glad that you're joining us. and that you are able, through the person who invited you to this Zoom tonight, you're able to get these patches at wholesale for yourself and your family. There are 3 enrollment packages that you get to choose from. Each package comes in is a blue envelope with 30 of these little patches inside of it. And on the core package, there are 3 sleeves. We call this blue envelope a sleeve. And so there are 3 sleeves. So that means that there is 30 patches times 3 in that core package. We call that a starter package. And that is $295 plus shipping and tax. The advanced package is what we say when someone is wanting to get started, they're wanting to share, they want to have a little extra inventory. What I mean by that is a couple extra sleeves so that if someone near them that they share with gets started immediately, they can loan out a sleeve because they have a couple extra, because we don't ever want to give away our patches and us have to go without, because it's our story that we're building. We want them to be able to get them at wholesale. So we just enroll them, loan them a sleeve. When theirs comes in, they give it back. So that would be 6 sleeves for a business builder for $535. And then a premium, which is the best deal, that's what Jens and I got in on, is $1,750. And that is for 20 sleeves. Why would we want 20 sleeves? We don't sell them retail. We don't give them away. But when we got excited, we were called ignorance on fire. We didn't even have a patch yet. We didn't have a testimony. And we were so excited, we couldn't wait for our product to come in. And once we got it and we started getting our testimonies, we were able to share with others and loan them a sleeve as soon as they got enrolled with us for wholesale. The other option you have is that there is a monthly subscription opportunity. 1 sleeve means you're just going to stay active in the binary tree. You don't know what that means yet, but I'm going to tell you it's extremely important. Every single person that Jens and I sponsor, we tell them you want to be on 2 sleeve monthly subscription order, and in 25 days, you can get back with me and we will help you change that, or whatever you want to do, we'll help you. But it's easier to do the subscription when you get in on enrollment, and you are going to end up wanting it 99% of the time. There is a 30-day money back guarantee. So I always say, this is no risk. This is a no-brainer. This is not medication and surgery. This is literally stimulating your body to do what God intended it to do. So we encourage you, before you lay your head on the pillow tonight, whoever invited you, you want to get this form filled out, get it back to them. Don't miss your opportunity to receive some of the testimonies that we have received. They have been, after 34 months for us, they have been outrageous. And I'm going to stop the share for just a minute so that we can share just tidbits. Our testimonies where I was a one-patch wonder. The very first night, the very first day, I wore my patch 12 hours, as Jen said. I threw it away at the end of 12 hours. We have this thing we say, put it on in the morning when you brush your teeth, throw it away at night when you brush your teeth again. Well, I woke up the next morning and I didn't sleep. I was a poor sleeper because I'd been on call. And Jens was looking at me when I woke the next morning and he's like, my gosh, do you know you slept 10 hours last night? No, I didn't. But wow, that's incredible. How do you feel? He says. I say, done. He's like, done. I'm like, yeah, I feel so rested. I don't usually feel like this in the morning. I get up because I'm tired of laying there. Well, now after 34 months, I'm still sleeping. And guess what? He gets to sleep too. And then a couple of weeks later, he started getting more energy. That was really a very cool thing, because we had this family joke that, I was like the Energizer Bunny running circles around him. Well, now we both run the same speed. And that is a lot of fun. We'll be married 49 years this year, and it's fun to be able to keep up with each other. And then probably, gosh, what was it, about 5 weeks, our grandchildren, we have 5 grandchildren. They were with us for 7 days and our 2 granddoggies. We were in our little beach house at the time that wasn't even 900 square foot. So we were all camped out in there. At the end of the 7 days, they were getting ready to go home. They were getting picked up. And the 2 middle girls came up and said to me, Cece, we want to ask you something. Did you realize that you never called us by the wrong name all week? And I was like, oh my word, you're right. I didn't. I was also in the middle of coaching people into health and wellness. And I was not like 15 pages of notes with them so I could remember what I needed to say. I was recalling what I wanted to say. And Jen's went to the dentist. I forgot this one. You went to the dentist at 3 weeks for
Gum recession. So
a pre-op appointment.
Pre-op appointment, and they were doing my numbers, and basically they said, "What's going on with you?" And I'm like, "I'm brushing, I'm flossing, I'm doing the." And they said, "No, it has nothing to do with oral hygiene. Something else is going on." I said, "Well, I've been wearing this patch. Maybe that's got something to do with it. I have no idea." And then I went back in a couple of weeks later.
They postponed it and said, we're giving you 2 more weeks. We want to remeasure.
And 2 weeks later, their numbers were even more improved. So at that point, I knew it was the patch, and we canceled the surgery, and we saved a lot of money and a lot of misery.
We saved $15,000 and 4 gum recession surgeries. Now, who wouldn't want that? Because we all deal with things like that, going the way we don't want them to go as we get older. And his began to reverse, and so did mine. We also had dermatology testimonies. So it just gets better and better. We are still getting testimonies after 34 months, but I love what Joe said. You know, he didn't know what he was going to get. Sometimes we aren't even sure what to look for. So a lot of times I just share the basics: improved sleep, mental clarity, and more energy. I don't really know too many adults today that don't want all of that. So it's just, it just gets better and better every single week because we hear more and more testimonies and get so excited about the company that stands behind what we have.
All right. Who's behind all this? Well, his name's David Schmidt. He is the CEO. He's the inventor of X39. This guy has, we just learned a week or 2 ago, he has over 200 patents. And he's a scientist and inventor. Specializes in age reversing. 2008, he focused on stem cell research, and took him 10 years and $4.5 million to bring this little piece of technology to market. But we're glad he had the staying power and the money to keep it all together. So, yeah.
And if you just look at the fact that this gentleman who just loves the Lord, he says, you know, he gives all the glory to the Lord. He says, he gives this information to me, and I go to the lab and I work it, and he guides me. But a man that has created 200 patents, that's pretty remarkable.
Okay. Well, LifeWave is a 20-year-old company, and I probably should say right here, there is a business opportunity attached to this. I mean, if you just want to use the patches and
You can.
and never tell anybody, that you know, you can do that. If you want to tell a few people, you can get your product paid for. If you want to tell a whole lot of people, well, the sky's the limit, really.
Yes.
And so, you know, we're open in over 75 countries. What I love about this, it's not a Me Too product. It's not, you know, out there skincare, weight loss, trying to tell everybody, well, yours is better than theirs. This product has a patent on it. And so we have no competition. So from a business point of view, I've been in a lot of businesses, and it would be a dream to have a product with no competition.
And what about the startup? We never, ever, ever started up any of our 7-figure companies that we only spent $300 in shipping and tax.
They were all 6 figures plus.
Yes. And there were times that they became successful, and there were times that it went down the tubes and we lost the investment that we put in to get our company started.
So
that's how you become successful.
That's how you do it. Well, this company's on fire. In 2021, they were doing about $20 million a year. And we're going to talk about this in a minute. This is a team, which is our teamwork, got on board. And I think we're credited doing like 55% of the business. But anyway, we took the company last year to over 600 million, and this year we're well on the way to pass $1 billion. So
yes.
And we're number one in momentum of all direct selling companies in the world. We're number one in growth. So
Yes.
we're number one, number one, number one. It doesn't get any better than that.
So
Really.
I want to introduce in this picture where you see David Schmidt's on the left. That's my baby sister, Gina Merritt, next to him. Then our president, Meredith Burkich. And then to the right of her in the black shirt is my brother-in-law, Steve Merritt. So we are just really, really, really honored to be a part of this. And I think that, it's just every single day we're just more amazed than ever that we get to be the ones to carry this out to the world. Because if you go to the grocery store and you look for somebody wearing this patch, they're not wearing it. They don't know about it yet. That's why we have the privilege to tell others and help take it to market and earn income to pay for maybe just our enrollment package, if that's all you want, or to earn, like Jen said, a lucrative income. So I don't even call it building a business sometimes because I'm just having fun. I just want to bless people. And so here we're getting ready to have some testimonies now on the business success that others have had in our teamwork. And so Jens and I actually sponsored Lynn and Guy Millette, who were featured last week, and they sponsored Patty Neely, and Patty Neely sponsored Lila Herr, who has become a director in record time. She is married to Joe that you heard his testimony a few moments ago, and they are in Brynteson, Florida. She's a mom of 3. She's a fitness and health coach, has been for more than 20 years. She is obsessed with longevity, and I'm so excited to invite her to share her testimony with us. Lila, you should be able, there we go. Take it away.
Yeah, so I guess I want to start probably in 2012. I got into this industry. A friend of ours approached us with a more supplement type company. And since I was a personal trainer and into health and fitness, I thought it would be good for me to align myself with a company that has quality products and I'll just create another stream of income. I did see what the business can do. I met a lot of people who have been extremely successful. So I knew what was possible. I did that business for like 6-7 years. And it was really a struggle. It was fun. I mean, I love the product, and when I'm passionate about something, I have to tell people about it. So that's just in me. And I had a lot of customers and stuff like that, but the way the business was set up, the way we were getting taught just wasn't quite the way, the optimal way of doing things. But the other thing is the competition was just fierce. You can go to Walmart now and get all different kinds of supplements, green drinks, protein shakes, vitamins, and all that stuff. And so I was just really struggling to recommend these supplements when you could buy just as quality, much cheaper in other places. So I did eventually give that up, and I kind of had a little, I didn't want to do this business again. So Patty, she told me about this over a year ago, and I just said, no, thank you. I'm good. I've done that, been there, and I didn't even look at it. Well, she moved back here and she patched me. And I was lucky enough to see a result very quickly. Within 30 minutes, I felt that energy surge into my body. So that was pretty amazing. But then that just made me think, okay, I need to look into this a little bit more. And I started looking at the website and the information. And when I learned it was reactivating your stem cells, that was just unbelievable. I'd never heard of anything like that before, and I knew how expensive stem cell treatments were, and I also knew that they were more localized in certain areas. But in your whole body, that's pretty amazing. So I just really started, I dove in. That's what I do. I read everything, but very quickly I did that. So within days, I already started telling people at the gym, because every person I talk to, whether it's at the gym or the grocery store, I swear everybody has an ache or pain or an issue, some kind of ailment, health issue. And I just tell them, I mean, that's why I wear this patch. And so I think in the first barely 3 months, I won the trip to Punta Mita. So I just found that this was so easy to share. Um, and the system that's in place for us is just so simple. I didn't have to think at all. I was able to go and educate myself exactly everything I needed to know, how to do the business, how to work the back office. And I just personally like to take ownership of that kind of thing. This is, something that I'm doing. Um, and then, I just started sharing. And the cool thing is, people are seeing such amazing results as they have to tell other people. I mean, if you're wearing this patch and you've seen an amazing result, why not share this with your best friends, with your family, with people that you know that are also hurting? You can't hurt them by just letting them know about it. They have the choice to look at the information and make a decision on their own. So I just feel like we should tell everyone, I mean, we do it every day, all the time with everything. We're taking a new supplement, we tell our friends. We go to a restaurant, we tell our friends. We buy, we had good customer service at a tire store, we refer that tire store. Like, we do it with everything. But we never get compensated for that. So that's what I love about this is, like, we have something that no one else has. It is helping people in miracles all over the place. I would encourage people to watch the launch videos and listen to other people's testimonies, and just, it sparks your mind to start thinking of, oh my gosh, who can use this? So it's been really incredible. And for the first time, I feel like I'm going to be successful in this industry. I'm going to tell you this, I'm still very scared, and every day there is doubt in my mind because I failed before. So I know that a lot of people, they do this and then they get scared and then they back away and they stop. And I decided I'm not going to do that this time, because I know the gem that we have. I know this opportunity. It's just unbelievable. And people are hurting and they need help with their health, but also finances. They really do. And we have their answer, so we need to share it. I decided to look to the future. Like, any job that you have, any business you start, even if it's a franchise, you have to do it for years for it to get to where you want it to get. So I know in my mind, if I do this, I mean, I'm doing this for 3+ years minimum. And I know in 3 years I'm going to be successful, as long as I work on some daily tasks every day and put some effort into it. And so far it's paying off, and it's really been so fun working with Courtney and Hava and Patty and Lynn and you two, everyone, even Paul and Linda, just meeting all these amazing people, creating these new friendships, and just sharing this life with other people has just been really amazing. And 3 years before this, I was just here in my house, not really doing much, not talking to people. And now I'm part of this really special company, so I'm very excited. And if I can see success with this, I mean, anybody can see success with this, because I was in it for 7 years and did not see success. So you just got to open your mouth, tell people, stay engaged, stay connected, and just, get to know everyone and everything about this.
Yes. Lila, remind us once again, how long have you been enrolled?
Probably 7 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I love that you said you won, but you actually earned the incentive trip to Punta Mita, Mexico. You earned it because you were out there excited and just sharing. And you have been very diligent, because you kind of said you came out of a 3-year slump of just not feeling good, and you got yourself back. And because of that, you were like, oh my gosh, I know a lot of people that need what I've got, but I also know a lot of people who could use an extra stream of income. And so you have been a total joy to work with. And Joe, I remember in Mexico, you told us, because we had so much fun together, several of us on here were in Mexico together. And I remember you saying, we have been a part of other industries, direct selling before. But what I always failed at before was I wrote a list and I didn't take it to heart to reach out to the people that I had written on my list that I wanted to bless them. And this time I've got the technology, I've got the opportunity, and I'm not only going to write the list, but I'm going to work on that list. And that was exactly what you told us. And that's what you've been doing since you've gotten home. That's something that's so important because we can think it all day long. And there's a lot of things we think, right? And I was going to mention too, the book of the month is always so strong and helping our belief that you were talking about, Lila, and the Zooms, to help encourage us that if they can do it, I can certainly do it. But then, Joe, to actually take action on what you commit to. So we're really proud of you all, and you've been such a blessing and a joy to get to know. Thank you so much for being on tonight, and we love you, and we just appreciate you so much.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Yes, we appreciate you. Absolutely.
Yeah, really, it's been an absolute joy spending time with all of you
Yes,
and strengthening all my other relationships too.
yes, thank you. So we are now going to invite Paul's other half, Linda and Paul Summersall. Paul was on earlier, and Linda Summersall, actually, let me share the slide. I don't believe I even did that yet, did I? Here we go. So Linda Summersall, I get so involved in the testimonies, I forget to introduce you, Linda. I apologize. Linda Summersall, not only beautiful, but is presidential director married to Paul. They are in Lakeland, Florida. She is Mimi to 6 grandkiddos and was a children's pastor for 22 years. That tells you a lot about who she is. She is a retired owner of a wedding designer and events company. And she is going to share from her heart about the business success that she's not only experienced, but she's seen, been a part of, and what she sees yet to come. Thank you so much for being on, Linda. We just love you.
Well, we love you too. Thank you so much for having us on. And I love Joe and Lila's story. We got to meet them personally and spend some time on a trip that we all earned together.
Yeah.
And that's going to be one of my favorite things about these type of companies is, a lot of people come for the health. Some people come for the business part. Many people come for both, but most people stay because of the community. Because when you have all those things in place, and you meet these incredible people, you just want more. It's like contagious. You just want more of it. Most really people that love to be around people aren't about just collecting wealth. They're about sharing that and giving a vision to people of what's possible for them. And for me, it started when I was really little. As a matter of fact, my mother was in Tupperware when I was a very little girl, probably 8 years old. I'm 64, so that was a really long time ago. I didn't know that business model, but I knew my mom won free cars and she was a single mom. And it gave us choices because we came from pretty poor background and my mom was just really successful. I didn't understand it. I knew she was gone a lot at night because that was the business model back then. We're so blessed that we have Zoom and we're not carrying around bags of Tupperware and all the things. I mean, I know like back in the day, that was definitely the way to do it. But what I also saw was just my mom being a successful entrepreneur. So I always had that in the back of who I was. And I did work jobs over the years, like most people do. And one of them was being a children's pastor for many years. But at the same time, we also believed in referral marketing, direct sales, network marketing, whatever you want to call it. I love to call it relationship marketing because that's what it is. When you talk about these patches, if these were sitting on a CVS store or a Costco, we'd all walk right past them. But when you get a call from somebody you trust, you care about, you're listening to their story. So I'm grateful that we have been pretty successful in a couple businesses in the past. And I've been an entrepreneur for many years. And I love the freedom. I love to work for myself on my phone from wherever I am, especially in this part of our life. We have 6 grandkids, so I like to travel. But when I got the phone call about these patches, What was interesting to me is 6 weeks before that, I was researching stem cell therapy injections, and Lila talked a little bit about that. What I found was not what I was looking for. I thought it would be something that would be help his entire body. It was, well, I looked at it for Paul for an injury he had, but there was also some things in the research I didn't like about what I was seeing stem cell therapy injections. 100% was not for us. So 6 weeks later, when I get this call from somebody I trust and is very much into wellness, which is really our jam, she had my attention because I couldn't understand it at first. It was not a lot of information like we all have now. It was just a little over 2.5 years ago. It was shortly after Cindy was introduced, and Cindy actually introduced the person that introduced me. So we met each other pretty quickly after we joined this company. But I really investigated it, and I took about a minute after she explained that it was network marketing. At first, I was like, and then I'm like, what if this is, especially as she's saying, what if this helps people? My mind started racing to all these people that we know that could really use this special product that I'd never heard of, which was a really big hint right there. I, like Lila, came from a company where it was all about supplements and protein shakes and all the things and expensive collagen, which I was drinking for many, many years, spending a lot of money. My mind started racing, and I could not get these patches quick enough and give her my credit card quick enough, because all I knew is, what if this works? We want to get a position and let's see what happens. And when I say position, it's really just about timing. So if you're looking at this, when I say timing and position, that just really means that it's like getting a house at the right time when the market's at the right time, right? You want to get a good price. It's the same thing with this. Timing is everything. So we, in the last 2.5 years, we've earned 4 trips. I cannot get over the income that is coming in. We've never been this successful in any other network marketing company we belong to. It is about your ambition level. It is about your intention. It is about why you would do this, because everything else is in place. The products work. We have the most incredible team. We have the system. We have the inventor. We have unbelievable, very generous compensation. So that's all in place. That whole system is in place. That's put together for us from our leaders. But the rest is up to us, right? The rest is up to you. If you look at this as, like I did, what if? What if this would work? What if this could be the company that I'm a part of and I align with, that I could actually be successful in? Then you just decide, how much time you want to devote. Many people have a regular job and they're used to a boss telling them when to work, what to do, when to come home, when to check out. So you're going to have to do all that. You're going to have to fill your own calendar. You're going to have to motivate yourself. You're going to have to get on and do some of the things that maybe aren't as fun or sexy as a lot of other things are, but it's worth it because you're worth it. And what that could be for you is going to be different for everybody. But, it's like John Maxwell says, you don't have to work all day on your business, but just work on it every day. And that could mean 20 minutes a day, but crush it because you're worth it. And we love being aligned with this company because we've got to spend some time with the inventor so we know his heart, just like Cindy and Jens were referring to earlier. We're wearing these patches. Our testimonies are life-changing. The finances that are coming into our home are life-changing. And then you get to meet these incredible people like Cindy and Jens, Lila and Joe. They're just a dynamic couple. So I hope at the end of this call, you get back with that person and say, you know what, I'm really open to, even though I thought, I don't think I want to do the business, I don't want to sell. I said the same thing. I don't like to sell, but I sure like to refer and tell people, especially if somebody knows there's good Italian pastry in Florida somewhere. I want to know about it because it's hard to find. When you have something good, you want to share it, and this company wants to pay you to get the word out. And everybody's into affiliate now and links and sharing, and everybody's used to that. That's how we influence people, to let them know about something. So thank you for the privilege to share tonight. We really appreciate it. And thank you for just being allowed to share a little bit of our story tonight.
I just appreciate you both so much. I think what's so exciting and what has really been reflected through the 4 testimonies, and it's kind of interesting that we ended up picking 2 couples tonight, But what I love about this is there's such a reflection here of what a strong teamwork there is and how it takes a teamwork. No one is left to be an island on their own. This is something that you mentioned, Linda, the community, the relationships. And one of the things we're going to talk about in a minute is that we have a system in place. We're all doing the same thing every single day. And that's what makes it so unique, so amazing, and no one else has what we have. So thank you so much. We really appreciate you both. We wouldn't be a team without every single person on here tonight, and the leaders are incredible. This makes us look good. You know, it's like when you bring these, all the testimonies on and they start sharing, they are the ones that are telling you this thing works. There's no question about it. It works. And what Linda just said is if you work it, you will never be the same. You will be amazed at what the blessings are and what you're able to pass on and share. It's kind of like I heard Jennifer Johnson on Linda's team says, pay it forward. You know, when you share this patch and this blessing, you're just paying it forward. Thank you both for being with us tonight. We love you so much.
Me too.
Thank you. So we're going to come back here to the slides for just a minute. I want to talk about something that is really dear to my heart and really all of our hearts that we've been a part of Lifeway for a while. David Schmidt is so amazing. We've already described who he is. He's the real deal. I mean, someone that can spend 20 years creating a company and never giving up, and not one patent, but 200 plus patents. So his heart is to bless as many families and as many people as we can with health and or wealth, because most people today are praying for both. We're looking for another stream of income before we check out at the grocery store because everything went up from what it was last week to this week. We're out of energy a lot. I mean, it's just unbelievable the number and the percentage of people that are struggling today with mental clarity and energy and sleep because our stress levels are up. So This Is It team has partnered with David Schmidt to touch and bless as many families as we can. And our goal for 2025 is to be 1 million strong. Can you imagine what an impact we can do on the world with something that no one has, no one knows about, and they can receive the blessing in their personal testimony and in their financial lifestyle? I mean, this is huge to be able to have choices. So we get really excited about it. And our family created This Is It team. Steve and Gina Merritt, my baby sister and her husband, they have been entrepreneurs for 36 years, excuse me. And I got months and years going on in my head tonight.
Well,
And they created this team. We all got to be a part of it. And what is so amazing is we have 2 sites. This was really important to me because when we came on board 34 months ago, I had to go all over the place to find information. I literally spent a whole night researching. You don't have to do that today. Everything you could want to know if you want to do a deep dive is in thisisitinfo.com. The patents, the case studies. But I tell everyone, if you just watch the first couple of videos, that's 5 minutes of your day. Take 5 minutes to watch those 2 videos. Everything you need to know is in those 2 videos. And then we also have a site called thisisitteam.com. This site is allowing you to understand, how is the money made? How do I talk to people? How do I enroll people? But I want to give you a really strong word of advice. When Jens and I got in, we were excited because we thought, just like Linda mentioned, what if this helps other people? What if? And we got so excited, we told 5 people in the first 4 days. We actually went to the first rank in the company called manager. We didn't know we went manager. We actually paid for our whole package, which was the premium package. We didn't know we paid for it because we were so excited. and we called ourselves Ignorance on Fire. We were so excited. We didn't spill out all the science. We just said, what if this works? We think we found something. What if it works? And that's how we started. We were 3 weeks into the business before, or enrolled, before we even knew that we had achieved a rank or we had made any money. So I'm going to challenge each and every one of you. Don't feel like you have to know it all, because the more you know, you will bog yourself down telling everybody all the stuff you know. All they want to know is, will it work for me? Yeah, I think it will. Give it a shot, but give yourself 90 days, 6 months, because you don't know when you're going to get your testimony. And most of it we don't feel. And so you may not even recognize it. It might be like going to the dentist and he says, oh my gosh, your gums look healthier. Your gum recession's reversing. Your dermatologist saying your skin looks better. Your kids saying, Mom, you don't seem to be as confused as you used to be. And that happens. So I want to talk about, there are 3 ways to earn income. If it doesn't matter to you today, just listen, because you might be just like me. And all of a sudden you're telling people and you don't even know that you're doing this. So I want you to know the income that you could make that I didn't know. So if you sponsor someone on the core, you would earn a product introduction bonus of $35. If you sponsor someone on advanced, you would earn $75, and premium $405. That's the first way to earn income. The second way is that when you enroll, you're enrolling with the person who invited you tonight to get your product at wholesale. You're getting a position, and then you have a binary, a left leg and a right leg, or a left team and a right team. This binary allows you to earn up to $25,000 a week, which is massive. It's huge. And all it means is you're just telling others, hey, I think this is powerful. Let's give it a try. And you're sharing with your first 4 friends as soon as you can. It might be even before you have your patches. You're sharing with them and inviting them to come along with you on your journey. And you can literally have so much fun seeing who gets a testimony first. And when you get your position, there's a lot of earning opportunities.
All right. Third way to make money is matching bonus. Every time you enroll somebody personally, you get 25% of their team commission. So if they make $100, you make 25. They make 1,000, you make 250. The person they enroll, you get 20% of their team commissions, and the next person down, you get 20%. So I mean, this way of making money, there is no there's no cap on it, and
That's right.
This one here really gets crazy.
So that shows you a glimmer of what is available to us.
Yeah.
And our team offers live Zooms Monday through Saturday. Or if you miss them, you can go back and get the recordings. They're also available in Spanish on this Zoom link. And on Saturdays, we have training. If you want to be good at this, this is where you want to be plugged in. And we have a convention once a year. Our next convention is in Orlando, August 8th through 10th. And on the 11th, Sunday morning, there's an optional church service. I encourage you to be a part of it. It will be you'll be so blessed, and it will be so fun. And
I want to say here, this is a team has created 102 7-figure income earners, and every one of those people come to these events.
yes,
That's where the excitement grows.
and that's how they've learned.
That's where you learn.
Yes.
And basically this business is kind of built, from event to event and trip to trip. And
That's right.
And that's where, they're really a lot of fun, because that's where you get to meet, we'll see Joe and Lila there, Paul and Linda, and
That's right. And we'll get to meet new people.
We'll get to meet a lot of people that are on this call tonight. We haven't met you personally yet.
And we can't wait. So you can register for Next Level at thisisitconvention.com. We are getting ready to be limited on seating, so you want to get your ticket sooner rather than later. We also made tickets available. That is, if you want to get your own sleeping quarters, you can. So the package is very inexpensive to cover the convention, a Saturday night dinner party, and the hotel, or you can just get the ticket for $375 that is going to cover the convention and the Saturday night dinner. And this coming Saturday, we've actually made a little change. Gina and Steve and Jens and I are going to be doing the Saturday training. We're excited to invite you. It's 1 p.m. Eastern, and it's going to be really special because they're going to be sharing some things, and we're going to be sharing with you, how do you share with people? How do you get started? There are the basics that sometimes people need to rehear. And Wednesday on May 21st, this is a couple little ways out there, but I want you to mark your calendars because at 8 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday night, Paul and Linda are going to be leading our team Zoom on Wednesday, May 21st. And then May 27th, I'm giving you some things to plug into your calendar. Tuesday, May 27th, my sister and her husband, Gina and Steve Merritt, will be on leading our Zoom that night and sharing with us so much wisdom. You don't want to miss them. And tonight, as we finish up this Zoom, there will be a Zoom playing starting right now with Olga and Javi Solis. They are amazing. One of her children is autistic, and this patch has given him the ability to speak again. He is now saying 5-word sentences. He's doing things for himself he couldn't do before. This has completely changed their lives. We have so many of these types of testimonies of people getting their lives back. The patch didn't treat, heal, or cure them. It is stimulating their bodies to do what God and had created our bodies to do. So the Zoom that they're on, you can go to youtube.com and go at This Is It Team, and you can watch tonight's Zoom, and you can also subscribe. But this is just an overview of what we have available. We can't wait to meet you, and we pray that you are getting your enrollment form done and back to the person who invited you, and that we get to meet you and you're going to get your own testimony. Thank you so much for being with us tonight, and thank you for accepting the invitation of the person who invited you to come on board.